let's kick it off with the political lightning round. Get in the hard factor jet, fellas, because we're going to do political updates from all over the country real quick.
Whoa.
First up, exactly. We're coast to coast here and beyond.
This the Epstein jet?
No.
Okay.
No, that left the country, didn't it?
Yeah. So I don't know where that is.
Yeah.
It's banned. We're not allowed. Hard factor's not allowed to get on the Epstein jet. No. First up, in the swamp itself, Washington, D.C., we've got world famous Dr. Anthony Fauci telling the American people on CNN's State of the Union that he expects mask wearing to potentially continue well into 2022, and that a quote-unquote significant degree of normality may be achieved by late 2021, end of the year time frame kind of thing. So basically, from the guy who brought us double and triple masking, he's telling us to brace for a repeat of 2020.
You know, Fauci seems like such a nice guy, and he's very knowledgeable, but boy, is that guy depressing.
Yeah, yeah. It's February, and he's moving the goalposts for a significant degree of normality to the end of the year. Very end of the year.
He needs to lighten up a little bit.
Yeah, and masks still next year. So thanks a lot, DC. Just the news we wanted to start this week. Down in Florida, Trump is planning his return to the political stage at CPAC. That's the Political Action Committee big gala every year. It's in Orlando next Sunday. Well, it's reported that Mike Pence will not be in attendance as of now. So who knows? That might change. Maybe I don't know what's going on with Trump and Pence. But it's hard to see how it's going to shake out for the Republicans in general, because a Suffolk University poll recently showed that 46% of Republicans would leave the party for Trump. So really seems to be like a split, sort of everything
down the middle.
The
Split.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pence is going to run is what's happening here. Pence is going to run for president.
You think it's going to be Pence versus Trump in a showdown for the next
in
one?
The primary for sure, yeah.
And Haley in the ring too.
And it
There's
sounds like
lots
it's
of
going to
people.
be pretty fucking close.
I don't know. If everybody lines up behind Pence potentially, but Trump's definitely got his base unified. You know that for sure. Mm-hmm. Next up in New York, Trump's home state, or his original home state, impeachment votes are stacking up for Governor Andrew Cuomo. Tim A. on the Discord chat pointed out that up to 30 Democrats, the reps in New York, are in favor of impeachment. Apparently, the list is growing every day. So Cuomo allegedly is under real threat of an impeachment. So anyway,
Yeah.
I mean,
His shit's weak.
Yeah, he should be.
Yeah, his shit's real weak right now.
yeah, that's crazy. Could you imagine if both New York and Cali flipped their governors this year? That would just be insanity.
I think Greg Abbott's probably under a little pressure too after this past week. Texas,
You're right.
Texas, California, New York might be seeing new governors. Yeah,
I think you're right. Taking it down to Texas, the power and water is basically back on for most people, like you guys are saying, but some people are paying the price with enormous power bills brought to them from companies like Griddy, who are designed to function on the deregulated power grid in Texas. So the screenshot we have for the YouTube watchers right now, youtube.com/hardfactornews, is a $5,700 bill for the month of January. And I had heard you guys say that some people had gotten,
16,000.
Yeah.
The highest I saw was 16,700 or something like that. Some retired guy in his 60s, army vet or military guy, had to deplete a large portion of his savings. It just either auto withdrew or whatever, because your option is pay the bill or don't have power. Those are your options.
And I think some of these power setups, the way that they're set up is so people can provide energy to the grid, if they have solar panels or whatever,
right?
And then it makes it like a two-way street kind of thing, and you're in.
Yeah, well, with the deregulation, you have an open market of hundreds of different providers. Luckily in Austin, I think for Wes and I, most of the people use Austin Energy, but in Dallas and I guess Houston and other places, they have these griddies and all these other things. You can choose to use them, and then they also have fixed or variable pricing. So the fixed pricing is you pay what you consume. The variable I think is you're in a group pot, and it's if there's a lot of power being used in the city, then you pay a lot more, and if it balances out. It's like a tip pool for waiters. And some of the people that had their power did not go out in places like Dallas paid that tip pool, and they paid a large fucking portion of it, and the electricity spiked. So in just a week's worth of energy, they're spending $5,000 to $10,000.
Well, Texas may be forced to regulate the grid.